So we're going to be talking about logarithms, common logarithms, before we go to the laws of logarithms. So in this case, we'll be using mathematical tables, which is also called four-figure tables. So what is logarithms? Now, logarithm of a number, logarithm, logarithms of a number is the power to which 10 is raised to give the number. So we are going to start with using four-figure tables. So how is it used? So there are actually different stages to how this is done. So the first stage is that you have number and characteristics. What is called characteristics? So we'll learn that shortly. So let's say you have 2 and 5. Now what you want to pay attention to here in writing out the characteristics, you want to look at the number. This is 2 and 5. In other words, this can be written as 2 and 5.0, right? Remember we're dealing with four figures, right? So just imagine that now, even though you cannot see any point here, you already know that there is actually a decimal point, which is at the back of 5. Not in front, at the back. So this is 2 and 5.0. So you have 3 digits before the decimal. So what you do is you subtract 1 from that digit. So you have 2 points. That is that. So let's say you have 396,158. Alright, so if you look at this, how many digits do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? That is before the decimal. Even though there's no decimal, we already know the decimal is at the back, right? So subtract 1 from 6, you have 5 points, right? So let's say you have 7.861. Now, how many number before the digit? 1, right? So you subtract 1, what will you have left? 0 points. So that's how to get the characteristics. Now, let's say you have 0. Now, this case is actually different now. When you have leading zeros, it is written differently. Now, if you look at this, you have a decimal, and before the numbers, you have zeros. When you see 0 point, what you do is you count the leading zeros. How many zeros can you see? 3, right? So you use bar 3. Do you get that? Now, how did we come about this? So let me just give you a quick explanation of how we come about all of this. Now, if you write 2 and 5 in standard form, so this is the explanation. If you write 2 and 5 in standard form, what will you have? You have 2.15 times 10 raised to power 2, right? So that's how we come about the 2 points. This would be 3.96158 times 10 raised to power 5. That's how we come about the 5. So this will be 7.861 times 10 raised to power 0. Then this will be 7.5 times 10 raised to power minus 3, which is written as bar 3. So instead of you won't write minus 3, you have to write bar 3, but you know it's actually minus 3. But you write it as a bar. Okay, so let's write one more about that. Let's say you have 0.9. How many leading zero do you have? 1. So you have bar 1. So if you're going to explain this, you have 9.0 times 10 raised to power minus 1. So that's how you get the characteristics. So you put a decimal behind all that. Okay. So that's the stage 1. Now we'll go to stage 2. Stage 2 now means is where we now check what our number in the 4-figure table. Okay, so let's clear the board. So now we are going to stage 2, which is getting our mantissa. Okay, this is what I mean by that. When you have logarithm of a number, let's say you have 2.1471. Now this here is called the characteristics, which is what I just showed you how to get. And this here is called the mantissa, which is what you check what in your 4-figure table, right? So let's go ahead and do that now. So you have number, now you have log. So the numbers we used earlier are, we have 2 and 5. We have 396,815. We have 7.861. Okay, so earlier we got the characteristics to be 2. So this will be 5, decimal, 0, decimal, about 3, about 1. So now we'll go to our 4-figure table. So what we'll check, okay, before that, let me do a quick explanation. So remember we call it 4-figure table. Just it can be called statistical table or mathematical table. Now, why we call it 4 figures is that you need 4 figures to check, or let me say at most 4 figures. Now, if you want to write 2 and 5 in 4 figures, it will be what? 2215.0. So what will you check? You check the first 2 under the third, difference of the fourth. I will get that. So on the table, the first 2 as the first 2 digits under the third, difference of fourth. Okay, so in this case that will be 21 under 5 difference 0, because there's no difference 0, you can ignore the 0. So what we check is what? You check 21 under 5. So let's go back to it. So if you look at the table, you see this. So you see this is 21 here, right here. So this is 21. Then under 5, this is it. I hope you get that. So this will be 3324. So let's clear that off. So 21 under 5 will be 3, 3, 2, and 4. So 3, 3, 3, 2, 4. So that's our logarithm. Now in this case, you have more than 4 digits. So you pick the first 2 under the third, difference of the fourth. But when you have more than 4 digits, what you do, you have to look at the 5th number. So you either round it up or down. So this is 1. We already know that 0 to 4 round up to 0, right? Then 5 to 9 round up to 1. So because this is 1, when you round up is 0, so you have 3968 left. So you check 39 under 6, difference of 8. So let's go back to it. You have 39. 39 is right here. Under 6, you look at the line, it says 6. These are 6. So 5977. So that is 5977. Then the difference, this mean difference, you will add it. Now the difference, let me check that. 39 under 6, I think it's difference 8. So this on row of 39, where is difference 8? That's it. Difference 8 is right up here. Then the value there is 9. So it means you add 9 to this. So 9 plus 7 will be 16. So you have 6. Then 1 plus 7, you have 8. So you have 9 and 5. I hope you get that. Okay. So you have 5986. Let's go back to the board. So 5986. So that's a value. Okay. So for this you have 78. You pick the first two. Just you don't worry about the point. The point is how you already use the point in getting your mind on your characteristics. Under 6 difference 1. So 78 under 6 difference of 1. So where is 78? 78 is on this side. It's 78. You have 78 under 6, which is this 8954. Now difference of 78 under 6 difference of 1. So 78 under 6 is 8954. Then difference of 1, which is also 1. So plus 1. So you have 8955. So that's that. So you have, let me use another. So 88955. Alright, so that's that. So this you have, you're not checking 00, the leading zeros, you can't check leading zeros. So you have, if you want to write this as 4 figure now, this will be 75, the first two digits, the first two non-zero digits now, right? So under 0, do you get that? You could have checked different 0, but there's no difference of 0 since it will be 0. So that will be 75 under 0. So let's go back to it. So 75 under 0 is right here, which is 8751. So 8751. So for this, you will check 90. I'm not sure there's a number starting with 9 in the figures. No, it starts from 10. So what you check is what? 90, 90, first two under the third, 90 under 0. So where's that 90? They have 90 under 0. That's 9542. They have 9542. So these are log. These are the numbers and these are the logarithms. It's as simple as that. So we'll go to stage 3 now. Stage 3 is when you want to return your number from what? From log. You want to take the log back to number. Now this is, we have been going from number to log, right? So stage 3 is now when you want to go back from log back to your number. So now you want to go from logarithms. So this is stage 3. So from logarithms to your number, which is what is called anti-logarithms. So you also have a table like that, anti-log. So let's use the values we have been using before. Alright, so I'll copy, then I'll go to our board, and then I'll paste them right here. Okay, So we are going to be finding the antilog of this. So when you want to go back to antilog, so start with the values behind. Just leave the characteristics alone for now. So you go with the mantissa. So you check the first two after the decimal under the third, difference of fourth. It's still the same way. This is 4 figure table. That's how you check 4 figure tables. You pick the first two, you check it under the third, then difference of fourth. So you can use 4 figure table in maybe trigonometry as well, cosine, sine, and the likes. So basically, that's how you check it. You pick the first two under the third, then the difference of the fourth. So in this case now, we are starting with the mantissa. We don't have, for now, we leave the characteristics alone. So 0.33 under 2, a difference of 4. So 0.33 now. So this is our antilog table. You can see it starts with decimal, right? So 0.33 is right here. 0.33, I think when I'm checking again, is under 2 difference 4. Yes, under 2. Under 2, this is it. 2148. So a difference of 4, which is 2. So we add 2 to it. So this is 0, 5, 1, 2. That's 2150. So you have 2150. Alright, so what we do, you already know that the characteristic is 2, right? Now, remember when we were coming from number to log, we just subtracted 1 from the characteristics, right? So when you're going back again, you do the same thing. You add the 1. So now the characteristic here is 2. So you add 1 to that 2. So 2 plus 1 will be 3. You get that? Now the characteristic just shows where the decimal will be. You get that? So it means 2 plus 1 now. So it means our decimal will be right after the third digit. So 1, 2. So our decimal will be right here. Okay, so as simple as that. So it means we have 215.0, which is where we started from earlier. So I will check the same here. We'll check 0.59 under 8 differences. So 0.59 under 8 differences. So 0.59. This 59 under 8, which is 3963. Now difference 8, 3963. Now difference 6. So 3963. We are under 0.59 and difference 6 now. Difference of 6 is 5. So we are adding 5 to this. So it's 3. They have 8693. So 3968. So 3968. Okay, so remember we have 5 digits, right? Characteristic is 5. So it means our point will be in the 6th place. So 5 plus 1 will be 6th. But then you can see that you only have 4 digits. 4 figures will only give you 4 figures. So you have these are first digits, second, third, fourth. So you add 0 for the 5th digit. Remember our decimal will be at the 6th, right? So you have 0 for the 6th. So it means our decimal will be right here. I don't know if you get that. So it means we can actually just ignore the decimal since it will be 0.0. We can also do the same here. We can write this as 215. So that's that. So the number may not, you can see that going backward is not exactly the same, but you have the first 4 figures correct, which is why you usually approximate to 4 figures before you check the logarithms. And also when you are going backwards, you also get 4 figures, which is rounded numbers. So you have what you check in the third one here is 0.89 under 5 difference 5. So let's do that. 0.89 under 5, which is 7852. Now difference of 5, which is 9. The fifth one, okay, that's 9. So 9 plus 2 is 11. You have 6. You have 8, 7. So you have 7861. You have 7861. Now remember we have our cancel here is 0, right? So let me remove this so that we'll not think it's a bar. Okay. So these are not bars. Let's not confuse them with bars. Bar only comes on the characteristics. Okay. So you have 0. Add 1 to 0, that's 1. It means your decimal will be after the first digits. Okay, I hope that's clear. So let me clear this off. Okay. So that is. Now let's do the next one. In this case, you check 0.87 under 5 difference of 1. So 0.87 under 5. 0.87 under 5. You have 0.87 under 5. That's 7499. Now difference of 1, I think that's 2. So this is 1057. That's 7501. So 7501. Now in this case, you remember bar 3 is actually 3 leading zeros, right? In this case, we didn't subtract or add anything. So we interpret it the same way we did the first. So it means you have 3 leading zeros. Simple as that. So 0.00, which is bar 3. So you check, for this case, you check 0.95 under 4 difference of 2. So let's do that. 0.95 under 4. 0.95 under 4 difference of 2. So you have 8995 plus 2. So 8997. So 8997. So remember, bar 1 means 1 leading 0, right? So you just put that 0.8897. So that's how we use the 4-figure tables. So we're going to solve some examples later on that. But that's basically how we do this. So I want to show us how to work with bars, how to add and subtract when it comes to indices. So when it comes to logarithm, rather. So how do we add and subtract when it comes to operation with bars? Alright, so we're going to do some addition, subtraction, and division. So the first question we will do, let's go to the first question. So we'll do examples. So operations with bar. So we do addition and subtraction. So that will be the first one we do. So imagine you have to find, let's assume you have to sum this 0.6815. You have bar 2.8612 bar 1.3775. So you have to find the sum of this. So you have 5 plus 2 plus 5, that's 12. You have 1 left. So this will give you 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 0, you have 1. So this will give you 6 plus 7 is 13. Plus 1, that's 14. 14 plus 8, that's 22. So you have 2. You have 2. You have 8 plus 8, that's 16. 16 plus 3, that's 18. 19 rather. So you have 19 and your decimal. You have 1. So you write that out. When it comes to this, write it out. You have 1. We're adding it, right? Plus bar 3 plus bar 2 plus bar 1. Remember, bar means negative, right? So it means 1 minus 3. Plus times minus will give you minus, right? So plus times minus will also give you minus. Plus times minus will also give you minus. So it means you have 1. Subtract 3 from 1. That is, you have, okay, based on the previous lectures I've done, 1 plus 1 actually means you have a credit. Yeah, so you were credited with something, or let's say you have something you have with you. Then minus 3 means a debit. So 1 minus 3 means what? You have minus 2 left. It means you are still owing. It means you have 1, then you borrow 3. So it means you are owing 2. Something like that. So this will be minus 2. Another minus 2, that's minus 4. Another minus 1, that's minus 5. Hope you get that. Okay. So just like buying and selling, something like that now. Okay. So that is that. So this will be bar 5. So this is the characteristics, and the number after the decimal is the mantissa. So it's as simple as that. So writing them out would help out in evaluating those. So let me just clear this. So I'll do, let's do another one. So subtract. You have to subtract this. Okay. Let me just write the question. Subtract about 3.7625 from about 5.3113. Now, since you are subtracting this from this, so it means this bar 5 will come first, because it is the one we are subtracting from. So bar 3.7625. Okay, so you have borrow 1 from this 0. This will be 13, right? So that will give us 7, 8 rather. So you have 8 here. So you have to borrow 1 from here. This becomes 10. You have 8 as well. So this is 0 now. You borrow 1. This becomes 10. You have 4. So this is 2, right? And you cannot say 2 minus 7. So you have to borrow 1 from negative 5. If you borrow 1 or subtract 1 from negative 5, it becomes what? Negative 6. Right? You're already knowing 5. Then you borrow 1 more. So you have negative 6. This becomes 12. So 12 minus 7, you have 5. So now what we have left is what? Bar 6 minus bar 3. So which is minus 6 minus into minus 3 minus 6 plus 3. right? So it means you have a negative 6, then you pay back 3. So it means you are only left with what? Negative of what? 3. So you have 3 to balance up. So this will be what? Bar 3. I hope that is clear. Alright, so to the next question. Okay, so now the next one, subtract 2.6184 from bar 7.352. So we have to do this. So let's write it properly. 352. So this way we are subtracting from. We are subtracting this. So this will be 12. That's 8. So this will be 4. This will be 11. You have 3. 4 minus 1, you have 3. Then when you borrow this bar 7, you need to borrow 1 from bar 7. So you are begging for one more. After you already have negative of 7, you're already owing 7. So you want to borrow one more from 7. So it means we now have what? We are now owing 8. So this will now be 13. So this will be 7. So it means we have bar 8, which is negative 8 minus 2. So minus 8 minus 2, that's minus 10. So what we have is what? Bar 10. That's straightforward. So okay, so I'll move to, I think we'll do one more on. Okay, that's that for addition and subtraction. It's quite easy. You just know how to add and subtract negative numbers. So when you are borrowing, it increases. When you are adding, it decreases. Okay, so we'll go to division. Let's do division now. So second category will be what? Division. We are still under operation with pass. So division will be, let's say we have evaluate about 3.1215 divided by 3. Now, okay, this is straightforward. So you just say 3 in 3. 3 in bar 3, we have bar 1. Now, 3 in 1 is 0, right? So 3 in 12, you have 4. 3 in 1 is 0. 3 in 15, you have 5. That's straightforward. Now, let's do one more. So, if you have to evaluate about 12.1836 divided by 3. So 3 in 12, 3 in bar 12, rather, you have bar 4. 3 in 1, 0. 3 in 18, you have 6. 3 in 3, you have 1. 3 in 6, you have 2. Also straightforward. So let's do one that is not straightforward. So let's say evaluate bar 2.3215 divided by 5. Alright, for this you can see that 5 cannot go in bar 2. Don't try to say because write bar 0 and then 5 in 23. No, you cannot do that. And this is how you do it. Now this is bar 2. For you to divide it, you have to write it in a number that is divisible by the denominator. So what is the nearest number that 5 can divide? It's actually 5, right? Okay. So now you cannot go backwards, you can go forward. So the nearest number to 2 that 5 can go in is 5. So bar 2 is what is there, but I want it to be in form of bar 5. So what is will I add also? Am I borrowing or adding something to it to give me bar 2? So now let's evaluate that. So you have bar 2 minus bar 5. So this is what? Minus 2 minus into minus 5. This will be minus 2 plus 5. This is what? 3. So it means my bar 2 can be expressed as bar 5 plus 3. So I'll just pick this. Dots 3, 2, and 5 over 5. So my bar 2 has been written as bar 5 plus 3. That is, I have a negative of 5. Right? So I now add 3. So it means I'll have what? Negative 2. Which it means I have not actually changed anything. I'm just writing in an equivalence form. That is something else that is equivalent to bar 2. So because I want the bar to be divisible by the base. Okay, so what we'll do is to bar 5 divided by 5 will be bar 1. Now, in this case, you won't say 5 and 3. No. These two are now together. Okay? So it will now be 5 in 33. So you won't say, the first one we did, we just say bar 3 and 3, 1. 3 and 1 is 0, right? But in this case, because you already rewrite the bar by adding 3, so it means the following digits, 2 digits, will be together. So instead of saying find 3, not going right 0, 5 in 33, no, it should rather be 5 in 33. So this will be your decimal, right? So you now have what? 5 in 33, which you have 6. You are left with 3. So 5 in 32, you have 6. You are left with 2. So 5 in 21, you have 4. You are left with 1. 5 in 15, you have 3. I hope that is clear. So let's do another one like that. So on the division, so let's solve this. We have by 11.2135 divided by 5 as well. Now, okay, if you look at this, the closest number, if I may ask, someone might say bar 10, but I told you cannot go backwards, you go forward. That is the closest number divisible by 5 will be now bar 15. I don't know if you get that. So the closest number or higher number divisible by 5 will be what? 15. So it means we are going to write bar 11 as bar 15. So if you write that, so you have bar 15 plus 4 is what will give us bar 11. You get that to me? So it means we are adding 4. When we add 4 to a negative of 15, you get a negative of 11. You get that? Alright. So you just have what? Bar 15 plus 4.2135 over 5. So that's how we operate that. So bar 15 divided by 5, you have bar 3 points. Remember I said you have to pick the two together. Even if 5 can go in whatever is here, assuming this 4 is 5, you won't say 5 in 5, but rather 5 in the two together. Do you get that? So 5 in 42, you have 8. 5 in 42 is what? Is 8. So you have 2 left. So 5 in 21. 5 in 21, you have 4. You have 1 left. 5 in 13, you have 2. You have 3 left. 5 in 35, you have 7. I hope that's clear. Okay, so, but if there's no bar involved, I believe you can just do that straight away. When I'm something like this, let's say you have 2.1325. Now, this as divided by 5, you just do the normal way you do division. This one does not involve bars. Remember, all we are doing is what? Operation with bars. Then this script just says 5. Let's just solve it, but it's not part of what we are doing anyway. So 5 in 2 will be 0, right? So 5 in 21 will be 4. It means so 5 in 13 will be 2. 5 in 32 will be 6. 5 in 25 will be 5. So that is by the way. I believe you should know how to do that normally, but it's not part of what we are doing. Alright, so let's go back to operation with what? With bars. So now we are going to go to both multiplication and division together now. So that would be the third category. So multiplication. So I'll just include a division with it as well. So let's say you want to multiply by 3.1215 by 2. It's straightforward. So just write it in the way you normally write it. So 2 times 5 is 0, you have 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1, you have 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is what? Is 2. Then 2 times 3, or by 3, you have plus 6. Simple and straightforward. Okay. But if you have something like this, let's say you have about 3.627 now times 3 now. How are you going to go about this? So 3 times 3 will be 9. 7 times 3 is 21. So you have 1, keep 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Then you have 8. 6 times 3 is 18. 8, keep 1. Bar 3 times 3 is bar 9. Remember we have 1, right? So it means what? 1 plus bar 9. That is 1 plus times minus will be minus 1 minus 9. That is minus 8, which is what? Bar 8. Alright? So let's do one that involves both multiplication and addition. So let's say bar 3.8135 times 2 over 3. So you first multiply, then you divide. So about 3.8135 now times 2 divided by 3. Anyone can go first actually, but I think it's best to just multiply first. So 2 times 5 we have 0, and that 1. 2 times 3, 6, we have 7. 2 times 1 we have 2. 2 times 8, 16. We have 1 left. So about 3 plus 1. Minus 3 plus 1 minus 2, which is about 2. Sorry about that. There's a mistake there. Now we have 1 left, right? What was the mistake? I didn't multiply bar 3 by 2. So bar 3 times 2 will be bar 6. So plus the 1 that's left. You have what? Bar 5. Okay. So then divided by 3. So the next value divisible by 3 is 6. So you write bar 6, right? So what did you do? You added 1, right? Plus 1. You don't have to write plus x. I just use that as an explanation. So to get 5 to 6, what value do you add to it? 1. As simple as that. And don't forget that. So what was the value you added to 5 to become 6? 1. So just add 0.6270 over 3. So you have about 6 divided by 3 is about 2. Then 3 in 16, that's 5. You mean the 1. 3 in 12, that's 4. 3 in 7, you have 2, that one. 3 in 10, you have 3, and you have 3, 3 like that, and so on. Okay, so your value is 5, 4, 2, 3. Remember, we're 4 figure table, right? You just pick the 4 after the decimal. You need 4 characteristics. Sorry, 4 multis rather, not characteristics. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so I'll do one more about that. On that, then I think you should be able to do any operation that involves but after that. So 3 over 5. So you first operate with 3. So if you do that, now let's do that here roughly. So you have 9 times 3 is 27. So you have 2. This times 3 is 18. Plus the 2, you have 20. You have 2 left. 8 times 3 is 24. That's 26. You still have 2 left. 8 times 3 is also what? 24. 2 left. That's 26. You still have 2 left. But 1 times 3. You have about 3 plus 2, which is about 1. But then we still have what? A division of 5. Okay? So the next number divisible by 5 is 5. So it means by 4. By 5 rather. So what did you add to 1 to give you 5? That is 4. 6607 over 5. So you have by 1, that's 5 in 46, that's 9. You have 1 left. 5 in 16, you have 3, 1 left. 5 in 10, you have 2. 5 in 7, you have 1, meaning that 2. 5 in 20, you have 4. So you can just write it as bar 1.9321 because 4 you round down to 0. So that is that. Okay, so we're going to now solve some questions using our mathematical tables. So I'll just solve a few of them.